people still ask us, are you still happy? Like they're waiting for the story to change.
And I understand that, because when we told you how we met, it sounded like a fairy tale, and fairy tale ends, right?
Right. But that's the thing a lot of people misunderstand. Love is not something that happens to you once. It's something you choose every single day.
And today we want to take you into our relationship, how it looks for us, not the highlight thing, but the real thing. So a few months ago, we put out our love story, how we met, that it nearly didn't work out or it nearly didn't happen, and all of that. And the comments, you guys, I was not ready.
People were crying and things. Wow.
I was crying reading the comments, and I want to pick one. It's here. Someone wrote, I'm nearly moved to tears to see how intentional the pair of you are.
Intentional, that is the word.
And I thought, intentional, exactly. That fits to 100%. And I think what makes this word even more real for us is that we didn't have a long just us phase. We became parents really early. We didn't have this long honeymoon phase. The reality in life as parents hit us really fast and hit us also hard.
And we didn't have a system around us, like no family close by where we could say take over for a little bit when things get overwhelming or becomes overwhelming. We had just us.
And when you have just the two of you, you cannot check out on a point where you are overwhelmed or something like that. You have to lean in.
Because a lot of times people just see the love story and the sweet stuff. They don't see what comes after. And I don't really blame them, because if we don't make these type of videos to speak about the internal stuff, these are choices that you have to make every single day.
And so many of you ask what happens next, like after the butterflies, after the wedding, after the honeymoon phase. And I want to be honest, when you come from two completely different cultures, it doesn't make it easy. It's like a daily negotiation, I would say.
Daily negotiation?
I said what I said.
And when people say choose your partner every day, it sounds like an Instagram post or TikTok, one of those sweet videos that you see. But it's really not abstract. It's very practical.
When I say I choose MJ every day, it looks like I choose to explain myself over shutting down. For example, when MJ gets a call, really spontaneously, he picks it immediately and talks. It can take half an hour, 1 hour, maybe also just 5 minutes. But like how I grew up, if you have your daily routine, if somebody calls me, I would just say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm really busy at the moment. Can we make an appointment, like maybe in the evening when I have time? And like how MJ grew up, it's not like that. If somebody calls, he will talk. This is just something I had to learn. It's not about disrespect or something like that. And even when we get visits, MJ would just say, hey, today somebody would visit us, a friend or something like that. And me, I'm getting crazy because I want to arrange all the things and make everything clean, everything polished, everything nice. But this is not how it should be. And it's true. Like for us here, or like how I grew up, I found it like that. If you visit, you don't go there spontaneously. You call, you make an appointment. But like MJ grew up more in a spontaneous way that you just pass by. If you have time, fine. If not, not.
Yeah,
but
not all the time though, but
yeah, most often, not oftenly.
But it's okay, so to speak. If the person has time, you can just pass by without an appointment.
Of course, sometimes, you know, we are in our daily life. Everything can be messy. Everything can be not 100% clean. And for me, it's just like a little bit stress. It was at the beginning because I feel like, the whole apartment has to be clean and nice, and so on and on. I like people visiting us, don't misunderstand me. I think I'm even the one who likes to interact with everybody, but it needs to be in my structure and in my plan. So this is like an example where I really needed to talk with MJ. Like I decided to ask and also to try to understand, of course, because this is how he's used to it. I decided to understand it over shutting down, because of course it can also be really frustrating, like when you think, we wanted to go out, or maybe what are we doing, even if we don't do nothing on that day, but just like, I thought we spent time together, now you are on the phone over 30 minutes. So yeah, that's how it is.
And for me, choosing Muri is like choosing patience over pride. because I had to ask myself, is this value or is this just what I was taught? I'll give you an example in a minute. She wants to talk, not all the time, but most of the time, she wants to talk through every single thing, every single detail. We go through it, we talk about it, even a tiny shift in energy. She wants to talk, she wants to talk about it, she wants to understand it. So you see, all of these things, it takes a lot of patience over saying, "Oh, I've been doing this for years," and blah blah blah. It's going to be like that. So this is what choosing her looks like. And in the beginning, it was such a big deal to me. I felt like, why are you making such a big deal out of? Why are you making such a big deal out of this little thing? This is really nothing. Because how I grew up and where I come from, you just move on. You don't sit down and analyze every single emotions. Yes. Over time, I realized that talking for her, talking is not creating conflict. It's creating connection. So with time, I realized, okay, now I understand. Okay, this is going to take us an hour to go through. Okay, that there is the patience. So yes, this is me choosing her. This is the way I chose her. And once I understood that, I stopped seeing that as some sort of criticism, and I understood it a lot more better.
But I think that's also the part nobody talks about. This is the reality check, yeah? The real thing. It's not always smooth and easy, and we are choosing each other, not in a soft and perfect environment. We are choosing each other in chaos, in difficult situations, and just as MJ explained, maybe I'm a little bit an overthinker, maybe. But this is like how we choose each other.
And sometimes we are choosing, or should I say all the time, we are choosing each other whilst being exhausted. Whilst the child is crying, and whilst we haven't even had a good sleep, we still choose each other. Yeah, even when the nerves are all the way here, we still choose each other. These are the things that I feel like it makes a huge difference in a relationship.
We choose each other while life is loud around us. And when we say we just have us, I just want to explain it that everybody understands that this is not like that we don't have supportive family. We have supportive family. We have also family around us, but not close to us.
We have supportive friends also.
Yes, of course. We have a friend circle. We have really a good surrounding, but it's not like that we could say, okay, like maybe other families, this afternoon spontaneously I want to go out for shopping, let me just drop our child at the grandparents' house, because they are living more far away, and we don't have like this kind of surrounding that we could just say, oh, he will stay overnight somewhere or something like that. It's really just the two of us who are taking care of our children and children to be. And that's okay. That's fine. That's what we sign in for, because of course we could have moved somewhere or something like that, but we wanted it also like that. This is what I want to say, because it was clear for us that's going to be hard sometimes and also exhausting.
And throughout all these ups and downs and all these chaos, you realize that there's only really one thing that you can work on. If you don't come together, or we didn't come together and really be choosing each other every single day, we wouldn't be able to deal with the chaos. We wouldn't be able to deal with the loud life already. We wouldn't be able to deal with a lot of things. If she has to go out, I have to stay at home. If I have to go and somewhere, she stays at home. We balance it really well. So this is what choosing us really look like.
Exactly. And this is where it counts the most, because of course we need also to check us as a couple, not only as a family, not only us as parents. And this is also the next part. This is what changed everything for us as a couple. So stay with us.
There is this idea that love should be easy, and if it's not, something is wrong. And I think that is one of the most damaging things that we are told.
Especially intercultural relationships. Because there are moments where you literally don't understand each other. Like different backgrounds, different expectations, and different norms. So we had to build our own. And that's freeing, but also exhausting.
Both, actually.
I want to say this, just because sometimes it's hard, it doesn't mean it's wrong. For us, it's hard sometimes because we chose a life which is really intense. We chose early responsibility and we chose to build something real instead of something comfortable.
And we chose it consciously.
We didn't end up here. Like, we chose it actively. And that means also we take responsibility of how we show up in there.
If you haven't seen how we got here, our love story will be linked below. And if you're new here, welcome to the family.
Choosing sounds big, but sometimes, or most of the time, it's really small. Like, for example, yesterday. I was so exhausted, I was so tired, and MJ was seeing. He just made tea and put it next to me. Not a big speech, just tea.
I know you.
That's choosing me. That's paying attention over years and understanding. Like, even sometimes when we listen to music and we have a nice conversation or playing with our child, sometimes from 1 to another minute, the sound of the music is too loud for me. Then I'm overwhelmed. MJ sees that and immediately puts the volume down. This is just like regulating my nervous system also from outside. So this is like knowing each other, paying attention to each other, and of course also talking with each other. That's years of paying attention shown up in a cup of tea or in putting the volume down. And this is exactly what people underestimate. That's showing up when you are already at your limit. Because there are days where I even don't have the capacity to explain what I need. Because there are days I don't have the energy to explain myself or to explain what I need.
That's when you learn each other beyond words. And for me, she remembers things. She remembers things about my family, my past, and what matters to me.
Yeah, they mattered to you, so they mattered to me too.
And that's it. When what matters to your person starts to matter to you, that's when you know that you've chosen.
We didn't end up together because everything was perfect. On paper, it shouldn't work out.
Yeah, different continents, different language, different everything.
But I wake up every day next to him and I think, yeah, that's it. Especially when I see you also with our child, then it's just, yeah, I chose the right guy.
And I will choose you over and over again if I have to. And this time maybe a little bit more earlier.
Like, we want to be honest. Of course, we have days where we discuss things and we don't work it out immediately and things just sit in. We have these days too.
Yeah, where we need space.
And it's not about perfection. It's about being real and coming back always over and over again. The same as parents. We are also not doing everything right and perfect. But what we do is we apologize and we clear it and we go on. Because being real is 100% better than being perfect.
Because we know what we are building and we know why we chose this, and even when it hurts, even when it's hard, we will still choose this.
Yes. If you are in a relationship, what does choosing your person look like every day?
We would like to know. Write it in the comment. We read everyone, every single one. At this point, if you followed us, you know that this is our last line. You know, you kind of know the templates already. So leave every comment. We respond to every comment. We read every single one.
And if this video gave you something, just share it with someone who needs to hear this.
And someone said that you always need to remind your viewers to like, comment, and share. She always gets it wrong. Like, comment, and share.
I think it's all the way around.
We appreciate you guys. See you in the next one.
Thank you.